Okay, hey guys, welcome to Chossy Conversations. I'm your host Rhett Lundy,
And I'm your host, Logan McGaha.
and today we've got some good stuff to talk about today.
Yeah,
Got some
quite a few
analytical
things.
stuff, yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit about, motivations and climbing and stuff like that.
What do you mean motivations?
Getting motivation, inspiration in climbing,
Okay,
and keeping it.
that's kind of a deep subject right there.
It is a deep let's save that for later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I was like, I don't know that the audience is quite ready for us to talk about that.
No, I need to finish my beer first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a beer in, guys. Alrighty, so first topic. I know some of you guys at the Ascent have heard me start talking about this, but there's an article published by Rock and Ice, and it's basically titled about does your physical height matter in climbing? Now, Logan, that's a heated subject.
I mean, yeah, it is very
it gets
heated. It gets very heated.
It's really heated.
I don't. So here's my thing. I don't think height does matter. I think what you got to do is figure out, how to work a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, especially outside, because you can always find that one little intermediary move that might not necessarily be there in the climbing gym, but for the most part, it's just a matter of, finding your way through it.
Yeah, and people have different footwork for different heights and whatnot. So there's a lot of factors here. We're going to get really deep into this one, I think. So let's talk about the article a bit. The article it's written by a lady who lives with her husband in a van in where was it? I think British Columbia or something no, Sierra Nevadas.
Yeah.
And she's 5'0", I think, and climbs really hard. And this article is written by her, and she includes some research from the guys who run lattice training boards.
Okay. Yeah.
And they did a research study and sort of broke down the areas of climbing that are benefited and faulted by height.
Okay.
So they're kind of testing different strength levels on different moves for people of varying heights. And the basic gist is, what they found was, it is better to be taller in every area except for when you're climbing on really steep overhangs and roofs.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And that's, it's your center of gravity is more at your hips because you have a wider span between your arms and your feet. And so that increased gap causes your body to sag more. So the more weight that you have dragging you down over a wider area is causing you to sag more, versus if you're more compact, your core can stay a lot closer to the roof.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense because I'm horrible at roofs.
Yeah.
I just thought it was all the beer I drink.
Yeah, no, it could be your height.
Wow.
Are you like 6 foot?
Yeah, 6 foot.
6 foot. And, but they're basically saying that height improves every other area of climbing. So, but I will say, overhangs and roofs are like a huge part of climbing.
They are, yeah.
So not everything's slab, guys.
Yeah. Or just straight vertical.
Or vertical. A lot of shit is like 45 degrees, 90 degrees, like crazy hard, like overhanging.
Yeah.
And that's really athletic climbing. So it's clearly better to be a little bit shorter there. And so that's interesting. So boulderers are a little bit better. According to their study, boulders would hypothetically be better than if they're taller than shorter people. But some of the best boulders in the world are pretty short guys.
Yeah. I think it's.
I mean, you've got Jimmy Webb. He's like 5'8", 5'9", I think.
But that's still kind. I mean, it's short compared to like me, but I think like overall, that's a little bit.
Yeah, it's average.
That's on the taller side.
Yeah, that's average height. Daniel Wood's like 5'7", 5'8", I think. There's that one Japanese climber, Nakajima, I think, and he's like pretty small. And then you've got some of the women too, like Ashima.
Yeah, crushing V12s at
She
like
was
age 9.
At 4'9". She was 4'9" climbing V12s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, part of that's like being a kid, and like razor crimps are just huge when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And the more weight you put on, the taller you get. It's a lot harder to hold those razors.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get overly hyped with like children who are like crushing the scene. It's like that girl that climbed El Cap. All right, I'm gonna diss on her for a second here because that's awesome she did that. But dude, it's so much easier to climb when you're a little kid. Everything's big.
Yeah, but
everything's positive.
But then you look at it though from the, she was probably scared to death to do it.
Yeah,
there's a mental factor that
Sure.
she had to come through to make it work.
I mean, yeah, benefit to that. But I mean, you remember there was this girl way back in the scene, like when Ashima was coming up. There was this other girl who was like 9 or 10, and she was like the first. She was like the first young person or something like that to climb a 514.
Yeah.
And
I do remember
she
that.
like didn't do anything in the scene at all. She's just not in climbing at all because she grew up and it got a lot harder. It's easy for kids.
That is true.
And they don't fatigue like we do.
Yeah.
Years of like drinking, destroying their liver.
Yeah. And they climb.
They're just pristine. They just sin all day, just sin.
Yeah. Like, I think it's funny when some of the USA kids, they go through this whole workout with us, and then at the end of the day, they're like, all right, I'm ready to climb more.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, shit, I'm tired.
Yeah, like, I'm tired from coaching you.
Yeah.
Like, that was difficult for me, and it was taxing for me to, like, yell at you guys, so how are you guys still climbing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like today.
Very
Well,
much
I don't know. They were pretty tapped out after the day was over. They like kind of wanted to forerun some of the new sets, but like not really. They wanted to like climb the easy stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't want to touch that 8,
Well, who besides us really want to touch 8s?
Preston said he's looking forward to working it actually.
Okay.
I think he's actually going to try it.
Okay,
which I'm pretty excited about.
That'll be interesting to see.
I like it when Preston tries my stuff. He's got a really good, honest opinion because he climbs outside a lot.
Yeah.
And I trust people who climb outside a lot. If you don't climb outside a lot, no offense, I just don't really trust your sense of grades that much. Things get skewed when you climb indoors all the time. Just like bouncing from gym to gym. Like, I have a great sense of grades. No, you don't.
No, you have.
No, you don't. You have a great sense of commercialism.
Yeah.
That's what you have a great sense of.
Yeah, you look at these gyms where the crux is the only move that is hard in the.
Yeah, dude, I was at Climb Nashville East, and it was like they had a lot of really fun sets there. But like I got on this one quote unquote V7, and the moves felt V4 hard.
Yeah.
And the crux was like maybe a V5 move, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is just so off.
My first time going to climb Merv, I think we've talked about it before, but I enjoyed the climbs. They had some really cool stuff, but I hit a V6 when in our gym I was only, climbing V3s and trying to project V4s.
Yeah.
So it was never, it wasn't something that I was like anywhere prepared to get. And here I am nearly flashing it. I think I got it after like my second or third time.
Right on.
Yeah. So,
So,
but I loved it. Like the climb was fun.
Yeah.
It just definitely wasn't a V6.
Right. So this we can dial this back in again on height by saying that if you're only climbing in the gym as well, height is going to play a huge factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to play a much bigger factor than it is outdoors because your feet are very specific in the gym. And if someone wants to set a really low foot, they can just set a really low foot, and there's nothing you can do about it. Outside, you can find little micro edges in the rock that are going to work for you that may not work for somebody else. Because they're, it's a really high foot or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't really buy into the whole height thing. Maybe I'm just tired of hearing about it, It's just like coming from someone who's 5'11", that's not short, that's not tall. I'm just average height.
Yeah.
And I just am tired of hearing people say they can't do stuff because they're short. It's like, I was telling somebody the other day, they said they had a hard time with a move because they were short, and I said, no, you're having a hard time with the move because you're not strong enough.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get stronger. Yeah, height, yeah, okay, I mean, you just, height plays a role, but at some point you just have to accept the fact that you're just not as tall, and you just have to get stronger in certain areas to compete. Just like really tall people have to get stronger in certain areas to compete.
Yeah.
You know, my buddy Joe, he's like 6'1", 6'2". He has a lot harder of a time on like overhanging stuff than I do, but he gets it done because he's crazy strong.
Yeah.
And he just keeps working that strength, and that's just what you got to do. You know, you can't complain about it.
Speaking of Joe, when are we getting him on the show?
Oh, we're getting Joe. It looks like he's going to be our first guest, and that is a week from this coming Monday. So, in 12 days we're leaving for Ouray, and the day that we leave is that night we're getting him on the show. Going to climb, maybe watch some, climbing documentaries, drink.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he's really excited about it.
Okay, yeah.
Joe's pumped. He's huge, biggest, probably number one fan of the podcast, listens to every episode, like loves it.
That's calling all the rest of you listeners out.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Do better. No, I'm just kidding.
Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump them.
You got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, no. So looking forward to that. Like, I think that's going to be a fun show to do.
Yeah.
I think everything coming out of this trip is going to be like really, really awesome.
It's going to be so much fun. And I'm thinking about, guys, let us know in the comments for the video, but I would kind of like to maybe just shoot some videos with the GoPro and sort of show you guys around the festival and sort of what we were experiencing. So I think we're going to try and do that. I'll throw the GoPro on the helmet and we'll give it the all-American try.
Yeah.
Get some good footage.
Really excited about this. I'm ready to get away.
Yeah, I'm itching to get on the road.
Damn work.
Yeah, I know, right? Just holding us back, and being broke.
Yeah.
Which is why we work.
Exactly.
We're broke.
Yeah, no, I just... If I didn't have to work, I think I would have already been like, dude, let's just hit the road and go.
If I just had money and I could just pay for gas, I'd be like, yep, we're going.
Yeah.
I'll just live out there.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd come back. I think I'd just stay out there in the Subaru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not,
just
right?
film the podcast every time we get a chance. And...
Yeah, we'll just stay in Ouray for the whole season or something. I don't know. Drive to Banff.
I don't have a passport, so I can't yet.
I might be becoming a Canadian citizen, Logan.
That still doesn't help me. I do not have.
No, it doesn't.
A passport.
It doesn't help you at all. But I'm very happy about it.
I'm glad you're very happy about it. But that either way, my original statement still stands.
Yeah.
I do not have a passport, so
I'll
I
smuggle
can...
you in under the guise of my visa or birth certificate or whatever they give you.
I don't think that's how that
works.
works.
You should probably learn stuff about Canada if I'm going to be a citizen. That's not a joke, by the way, guys. Like, I actually may become a Canadian citizen. My grandmother's from Canada. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Oh, and also, for the 8 millionth time, we are not smoking in here. This is incense.
I don't even know if it's showing up on the camera right now.
Probably not, but, everyone keeps asking us, are you guys really smoking? No, we're not smoking in here.
Do you think you should hold up the incense burner?
Yeah,
and
you know
show?
what? I'll prove it to you guys. You just sit right there and just hold on. Alrighty, here it is. Check that out. See? Proof.
Yep.
Liability.
How's
Just
it
burn
alive?
the studio down.
We're not directly setting the fire against anything.
Right.
I don't think it's a liability.
We're being safe.
Ish.
We're always safe.
Ish.
I always wear helmets when I boulder.
You're a liar.
Could
I
be.
gotta call you out on that shit.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So Jimmy Webb, so we can feed into this. Jimmy Webb just sent Lucid Dreaming,
Okay.
which is in Bishop, California, and it's a V15.
Absolutely insane.
Probably should be a V16. Apparently, it's like a sandbag V15.
Damn.
Yeah, and he just got it, which he claims in the article written about it that he has never considered himself a crimpy climber, and I think he's full of shit.
Well, before we get too far into this, explain to the audience who might not know what exactly sandbagging is, because I don't think we've ever really talked about it.
I don't think we've gotten into that. So if you guys don't know what sandbagging is where you take a climb, you're giving it a grade. So let's say you're grading something, and it's V10 hard, and you know that.
Yeah.
And you call it a V8. And a big part of sandbagging is that your ego is basically saying, oh, I'm just so good, I'm just going to call this a lower grade because it's going to make other people mad. because they're not climbing this like V10 grade. They're climbing a V8 grade because I said so, because I'm capable of doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sandbagging's. I mean, it happens. It's grading's really subjective, so it's not always like a malicious intent or anything like that. It's just,
But it's sometimes thinking.
But sometimes it's like it's just someone's ego.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, I'm just that good, and I can call this that because I'm just that good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you think it ever comes into play, like, maybe they're not, like, going back to that malicious intent thing. Like, maybe it's not so much their ego, but they're like, honestly, I feel like this is like that just because they are so good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so.
Like, they might, a climber might not necessarily be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to lower this intentionally, but maybe they've hit that point where they're so good they hit a first ascent on a V10, but the moves feel like butter on it that they call it a V8.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could just be, I don't know, maybe it's just your day.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could just, it's just your day.
You could be having a really, really great day and just hitting stuff and it just gets graded wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that could be happening. But sandbagging, yeah, it happens, guys. It happens. There's not much you can do about it, except try to be honest and climb a lot and know enough about climbing to avoid it. And just try and make the right call. But yeah, it's anyways, Dave Graham, he is also kind of a known sandbagger.
And you want to add a third to that list? TJ White.
Oh, TJ White's such a sandbagger.
Such a nice kid.
So okay, yeah, let's preface this. He's a really nice kid.
He's kind of shy, just kind of
pretty shy. And he has set some good stuff.
No, he sets really fun stuff. It's just 9 times out of 10 impossible and misses grade.
Yeah, like hard. Yeah.
Like he's saying, "Oh, hey, this is a 7."
And it's like a 9.
Yeah.
And no one can do it, including him.
Yeah. Because he said it with a broken leg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a rough phase.
Man, I worked on that. It was a V7 project that he set. And I think what he wanted to be the crux was an impossible move. I do not think it would have went.
Which one was it?
The blue one that had like the kind of love handles. That went to the roof and you had to catch it behind just perfectly.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I worked on it forever.
Yeah, that thing was literally impossible, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't literally impossible. So I'm sure someone is good enough to climb it, but it definitely was impossible for everyone at the gym.
I mean, he said,
including him.
Yeah, he said he didn't even, really.
He said he didn't even try the moves because he couldn't. He was in a boot,
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like, yeah, he just set this crazy hard thing. I like TJ though.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. Apparently, he's really into snowboarding. Shout out TJ if you ever listen to this.
Yeah, but we
kind of miss you, but I definitely don't miss you cross-threading all your bolts. So. Don't ever show your face in Tennessee again.
way to call it out there.
It's true, man. I'm still bent out of shape about that, man. I was breaking my back.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. So anyways, back to Jimmy Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full
congrats.
circle.
Yeah, right. So lucid dreaming is like, it's in this big high ball. It's a 40-foot high ball.
Jeez.
You've got like what appears to be about 15 feet or so of really gnarly, like overhanging climbing, slightly overhanging climbing, super crimpy. I mean, just disgusting. And then you've got, and that's the really hard moves. And then you've got a V6 slab that tops out at 40 feet. Whew. That's big. That's stout.
Yeah. I'm definitely not there yet. I think that one I was working was only like maybe 20 feet. At the or 18 to 20.
You talking about at Rocktown?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is about 20.
Yeah, because I know on the V6 side of it, it goes to 22.
Yeah.
But I think where the V1 tops out is at 18 to 20 at least.
What tops out at the apex of the boulder? So I think it's like 22 feet in the end.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get to 20 feet and up, like, you're highballing.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
The 40 feet is massive. That's a huge highball. That's what Nina Williams is doing.
Yeah.
And she's climbing, like, like V10 high balls, but not like V10 like the first few moves. Like the entire high ball is V10.
She's just a crazy climber.
Dude, Nina, and she's getting just wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like crushing trad now. She's like doing easy solos. She's like taking climbing to a whole new level.
Oh yeah, and she seems like really cool. Like I would personally like to get.
Oh, I'd
an
love
interview.
to hang out with Nina. Yeah.
Yeah, go climbing, then get an interview.
Yeah, I'd also like to hang out with her boyfriend James Lucas. He seems so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just posted a thing on Instagram. Actually, this guy is so dope. I can't even express. He's a writer. He's one of the journalists for I think Climbing Magazine, and or maybe it's Outside Magazine. Anyways, he's a climbing journalist or writer, I should say, and he's just like hilarious. He just eats tons of donuts, and just he's had like tons of debilitating injuries. Like I just saw his Instagram story where he was posting pictures of him sending like a V11 or V12, and it was several pictures of him like climbing on the problem, and each picture had a different injury, and he's missing part of his triceps. He's got like a permanently inflamed joint in one of his knuckles. He has a fused. He has a compressed and fused lumbar vertebrae. He has a fused ankle. Jeez. I mean, he's really been through the ringer.
And he still climbs.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like hard. He climbs at Nina's level. Like they both.
That right there is that is the stoke that we talk about.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's hilarious. You bring that up because he ends the Instagram story by saying "still bringing the stoke" or still stoked or something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, he's an animal.
I hope to be there one day.
Well, I don't really want to be that fucked up.
I'm clumsy, so I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, just by osmosis.
Yeah.
Of the environment. Yeah.
I'm not as bad as some people. But...
If Caden keeps climbing. This kid on USA, if he keeps climbing, he's definitely going to break like every bone in his body because he's so clumsy.
We took him outside climbing at LRC.
Yeah.
Trails that are well established.
Dude, LRC's trails are like basically a paved sidewalk.
Yeah, without the pavement.
Yeah, without the actual like concrete.
And it's just no joke, every 5 minutes you would hear crash, tumble. I'm okay. Like we take him back home and he is covered in dirt.
Yeah.
To the point like his mom's like, "What happened?" And we had to just sit there and tell her, hey, your kid is clumsy as hell.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I know.
Poor kid. He's such a good kid, too.
Yeah.
He works hard, but he is so clumsy. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Anyways, anyways.
We can get on a tangent about USA climbers.
Totally, yeah. Well, they're funny. They're really, really funny climbers. And they're good.
Yeah.
They're awesome kids.
Anywho.
So that's kind of wrapping up Jimmy Webb's bit there. Lucid dreaming. Yep. And Daniel Woods, who got like the second ascent on that, I think. Set by Paul Robinson. Like way back in the day. Which way back in the day now means like early 2000s.
Yeah. God, but that still is.
We're in the 2020s. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Like, I still remember stuff from, like, the early 2000s, and I feel like it's not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realize how long ago it was, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, how did I get old?
Right.
And I'm not even old.
No. Still in your 20s. I'm still in my
Yeah.
20s. We're not even that old, but, like, it does feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. I can't help it.
Well, when you look at it, and 2000 was 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I just, like, I do notice a difference in, like, how I move today compared to when I was younger. I've had, several broken bones now and lots of dislocations and just wear and tear over years of swimming and, like, falling and climbing and stuff. And, like, I feel it. I wake up in the morning, like, I'm older. Like, I feel it. It's kind of bummer. It's kind of a bummer, but, it's true. When I was 16, I'd jump out of bed and I'd just go kill myself all day.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I still do that, but I don't jump out of bed. Like roll out of bed, like.
My biggest thing is when I go to stand up and everything starts popping and cracking.
Yeah.
That is literally the worst feeling.
Yeah, and dude, my bones like creak and crack a lot, just in general. Yeah, and I shake a lot now. When I was younger, I used to have pretty steady hands, and now I just shake like crazy because I've had so many tendon injuries. I've blown like every pulley in each finger.
I'm still good. So my biggest thing is like I'll have a steady hand throughout the whole day. Like that's my baseline.
Yeah.
And then like if I just put everything into a climb, I come off and I literally can't hold anything. I'm shaking so much.
Yeah. You were pushing it pretty hard today.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on there? I saw you were working. I was literally, guys, I was at the desk working at the Ascent, and I'm just watching Logan work for like 5 hours. He is just like, I don't know how hard you were training. It was wild. It was freaking wild.
I was training pretty hard. I've been feeling kind of cooped up. Been going through my own personal stuff, and I woke up today, and you know, one of our listeners had contacted us, wanted to climb together, so I was going in to climb and hang out. And
so that's a message for all you guys out there. If you ever want to climb, we do climb with our listeners. We're not
just let us know.
Yeah, just let us know, and we'll totally come climb with you.
And I woke up today. I had a headache, sore throat, like just not feeling great. And I just realized I wanted to train.
Yeah.
I got in there. I didn't really want to climb on the boulder, the high wall, because I've seen the routes over and over and over again. And in the end, like we got there, we jumped on the moon board. Like me and you jumped on the moon board.
Yeah, we got on the ice tools for a bit, then we got on the moon board.
I didn't really do much ice tools, actually.
Yeah, I didn't really either. It was more just like a warm-up.
Yeah.
It was a decent warm-up, but it was good to pull on them again. Yeah, and then I got the weighted vest on. Oh my god, dude, that thing was like...
That looked brutal. Like, I actually jumped on the tension board. Like,
yeah.
I'm going to try to incorporate, like, learn a little bit more about that so I can incorporate it into my training.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you left to go get some food, and so I was just like, I don't really feel like climbing high or
right.
like up on the high wall or on the boulder, so I just want to traverse. And so, like, we started traversing, and in the end, I just kept doing it. Like, I started
lap after lap after lap after lap,
trying to see what moves I could do different each time to kind of change it up. And I think in the end, I stopped at like 15 laps.
Jeez Louise, man, that's a lot of climbing. That's like
it's the most consistent training I've done.
Yeah.
Since I had my wrist injury.
That's the nice thing about like endurance training is you can just do it for so long.
Yeah.
You know, you're never really pushing your tendons that hard. You're just like wearing out your muscles.
Yeah. And that was like one of my goals was not to do anything that would put my tendons in undue stress. Mm-hmm. Usually a lot of times in this wrist, I do have tendon problems with my wrist, mm-hmm. and if I get on slope or stuff and I like try to pull on it, mm-hmm. it really just starts straining and it starts hurting. And I finally hit a point almost a year later. Like February will be a year since I like really injured my wrist.
Jeez.
And I'm finally getting back to where I feel like I can do more than a day's session of climbing.
That's pretty dope. Yeah,
I'm really excited. So I just kept going today. I started thinking about, some of my goals in climbing for the year. Mm-hmm. By the end of the year, I would love to hit a V6 outdoors, maybe mm-hmm. a V7, to completion. Mm-hmm. And then on the high wall, the 512, at least a 512A.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So, I'd been talking a lot about, once I get back from URA, but I thought, for training wise, I don't have to wait for URA. I just have to make sure I'm being careful leading up to URA.
Right.
So I killed it today.
Yeah, no, you did. I saw you working, and you look like you were suffering over there. That's good. That's good
no.
See people working hard.
By the time I got to the end, I got done traversing, and I was like, man, I'm feeling tired in my muscles, but I don't feel tired of training.
Right.
So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the campus board and do a workout and do some hang board stuff, and then I went all the way up until I started to feel like the area in my elbow like this part of my elbow
Yeah.
was starting to strain, and I was like, that's my stopping point.
Yeah. Starting to get a little bit too tired now.
Yeah.
Getting way too close to injury. Got to call it quits.
Yeah, and I can notice like I was like I would try to do campus board and I'd get really sloppy with it,
Yeah.
and then I wouldn't make the move, and I'd just pop off or dry fire off or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm getting sloppy with everything. It might be time to stop.
Right on.
I mean, just like weight training, you don't want to do it bad.
Right. In other news, Logan and I set a V8 today at the Ascent. So if you guys want to come try something that looks incredibly difficult, it looks really fun. I actually am very excited to try it, and I will be trying it tomorrow. As soon as we get to the Ascent, I'm gonna start running some laps, get warmed up, and then I'm going to put some serious work in that 8.
Dude,
And you know what I called it?
What?
It's pretty dope. Nothing crazy. I called it "Scream for Your Life."
Okay.
Yep, V8. I mean, I was talking to Preston about it, and I was like, dude, you're going to have to power scream your way through this thing, because it is going to be so profoundly painful to climb.
See, now that means I'm going to have to go set a harder, like, V9, V10, like I had in mind.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to call it Ice Cream for Ice Cream.
Dude, yes. Hell yeah. I'm loving it.
I think that might actually be the name of this episode.
Ice Cream for Ice Cream. Dude, done. Absolutely done. You heard it here live.
Yeah.
Not really live, but you heard it here on the GoPro.
Eventually it'll be live.
Eventually live.
Yeah.
Ooh, in like 2 weeks. Maybe.
Well, I mean, we might do a little bit of a live thing. I say we could probably do some live stuff
We could do
on
Facebook
Instagram.
Live, like when we're hiking into Uri the first day. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I bet some people would like to see that.
one of us do Facebook, the other does Instagram.
Yeah. Split the weight.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I can't wait.
And we're hitting Jasper, Arkansas on the way back, hitting up Horseshoe Canyon as well, do some sport climbing. So if you guys are in that area and you want to join us for that day, we'll be there on the 28th.
There is one.
Well, we'll be there the evening of the 28th and the 9th. We're probably gonna do some night sport climbing in Horseshoe Canyon. So
Depends on how tired we are, 'cause that's a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, but we're definitely gonna want to stretch out and climb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a 12-hour drive. Like, no matter how tired we are, we're definitely gonna want to get out and move.
Yeah,
just for the sake of just moving.
Yeah,
not really just a climb.
There is a climb I want to try while I'm out there. It's I gotta look and make sure it's not trad, but it's called Crack of Doom.
Oh, I saw that. I think it's bolted.
I think it's bolted, and I want to try it, but like the whole area is like it's kind of like Stephen King's library. It's all named after Tolkien stuff.
Oh, nice. Oh no, wait, I saw that. Actually, I pointed that out to you.
Yeah,
remember? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had seen it like.
Oh, you'd already seen it. Yeah,
I'd already seen that when I first started looking at Horseshoe Hell and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because I've been looking at that. Like, I want to go.
And what's the one that everyone's going to when we leave? We got a whole bunch of homies that are going to this festival.
Oh, that's the Sickness down at Hospital Boulders.
At Hospital Boulders. Gotcha.
Yeah, that is the Saturday after we leave.
Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of like.
I wish I could go, but at the same time, like,
Uri is going to be way better.
What's one bouldering festival over the largest ice climbing festival in the world?
Oh, it's not. Like, I mean, it's one of those things, like, if Uri wasn't going on, I would totally try to get off work and go down there.
Have a chill weekend down in Bama and just, like, climb with a bunch of homies. Yeah, it sounds like a blast.
Well, I mean, everyone that's going to it's only staying for the Saturday, like, the comp, and then leaving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would totally want to camp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So,
especially if I wasn't going to Uri, I'd just want to take the time off to just go camp.
Yeah, time off. What is that?
We're about to find out.
I know. I'm so excited. I need that.
We'll still be working. We're just not working for Jeff. We're working for us.
True.
But I mean, and also, this is so much fun. Like,
it's
work, right?
I will say that there's times that getting everything set up to do the filming and stuff. I mean, the fact where we're working till like really late and then filming this so late in the day, it does feel kind of like. I mean, it's really hard to do,
right?
And get in that headspace,
right?
But I think that's where we pull it off, all right.
Yeah.
So
I think so too.
So it is job, work, but
I will say that this podcast
awesome.
It does get hard sometimes because I don't know, it's hard. You can keep up with current events and do research. You have to read I read a ton of articles and stuff to find out the best stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and in the end, it's a labor of love.
It is. But I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys appreciate the work that we put into this thing because it's a lot of work to make this thing happen. We're building a website too,
Yeah,
and it's looking good.
it does look good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
I do kind of want a different photo for our front page.
Oh well, we're gonna get it. We just haven't yet.
Find an ice photo this coming trip. We'll get some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much guys. I think we're pretty much just gonna be sleeping in the Subaru, like the whole trip. But I don't. Well, no, not the whole trip. Obviously,
Oh, not in Fort Collins and not in Jasper, at least.
Yeah, not in Fort Collins, not in Jasper, not in Des Moines, and not in Salt Lake City. But when we're at Ouray, we might be sleeping in the car.
Yeah, Ouray, and then Denver we won't.
Nah. Maybe we'll get an Airbnb for cheap in Boulder or something.
Maybe.
That'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. Anyways, going to Colorado.
Dude, I am so excited.
Yep. Here it comes. We're still training. It's getting boring though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
for me, it's getting pretty mundane. I don't know. Logan had a great day, but for me, it's just been like.
I had one great
it's
day.
Been tedious. Although I went to Climb Nashville East last night, and it was really fun.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing is like, yeah, this was a good day, but it's one good day in almost 6 months of climbing. 6 months to a year of climbing. Like,
that's true.
I feel like I've not been able to put, that much into, a training session.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that I finally, today I just hit my stride and I just could not stop.
And that kind of is a good segue into finding motivation.
Yeah.
So I just started writing this article that I want to send to Climbing Magazine to see if I can get published, but we're going to put it on our website for a lot of stuff that we write. And it's about bringing the stoke, but more deeply about finding motivation and finding motivation within inspiration and sort of tracking that progression from seeing something or someone do something that inspires me to be motivated. And once I am motivated, how do I direct my attention on that motivation into a finished product that is my training? That's a hard thing to do on a daily basis. Athletes around the world have to do that, but with climbing, it's such a pointless activity that it's just, where do you find the inspiration for it? You're not trying to go to the Olympics, really. Most of us aren't. And
I think a lot of sports are, kind of pointless endeavors, really.
When you look at it. We're not making any money from this. This is literally just us just having fun climbing on rocks,
That is very true. I wish I was making money from it.
Oh, sure, yeah. Don't we all? That's the goal of the climber, right? Is to, sustain a lifestyle where you can just go climb.
Yeah.
And you get paid for that. But yeah, that's difficult. So that's kind of what I've been getting into in my article.
Well, I know I've read part of it.
I don't think you've read the last paragraph or so, but and I'm not done with it. I'm still editing it, but it's looking pretty good, I think. It's pretty heady, and I'm trying not to get it too heady, just because I want people to be able to track and follow along with what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Make it nice and concise, but it's heady stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of topics inside of climbing that get very heady.
Yep.
When you look at talking about free soloing, that can go into a lot of heady headspaces.
I was discussing that with Haley today, and what she was talking about. Well, actually, it's funny you bring that up because we were kind of talking about motivations for soloing and the soloing headspace and that kind of stuff. And she was just trying to understand it a little bit better, which I appreciate. I love it when people ask me questions and sort of want to get involved in the way that I'm thinking. And that headspace is, it's fragile. It's really fragile. And you can think about it however you want, but at the end of the day, you can't make mistakes when you solo. So you can't really afford to have emotion or empathy creep in when you're doing that. And how do you avoid that from happening in the moment? You dumb down your senses in normal day-to-day life. and you keep that emotion and that empathy sort of tucked away all the time because you know you have to, because if you don't and you get up there and that switch flips back and your headspace changes, you know, you're done. It's just, it happens so quick.
Yeah, I think I even made a comment to you about it today where doing this training, I was like, you know, I feel like if I get into this rhythm and I work this endurance, you know, I think I would be physically capable of soloing something like maybe like the first flat irons or something.
Right.
But I don't know that I'd be in the headspace for that.
Right. And that's, I mean, it takes a while to get there, and
I think I've only had one time where I felt in the headspace to do that, and that was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I was just in a bad mood, and I was like, I want to go do something else. And I really felt like if in that moment, say I'd been at the flat irons, I'd been like, I'm just doing this. I don't even care. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a little reckless, but that's
sure. No, it is. No, well, I don't think maybe. I think it is reckless, but you can have controlled wreckage.
Yeah,
you can. I mean, I was talking about that with Haley a little bit today. It's just, you know, you could do reckless things. They just have to be within the margin of error.
Yeah.
And some people would argue, well, if it's in the margin of error, is it truly reckless? Yeah, sure it is. Sure it is. Because doing something that you know you're capable of in the wrong headspace is reckless.
Yeah.
But it's still within the margin of error because you know you're capable of it.
Exactly.
And yeah, I mean that takes time to develop that. To develop that almost, it's really just another personality, to be honest with you. It's kind of like another personality, to develop that sense of, I'm a different person when I do this, because when I focus, I can only focus on that and nothing else, and everything else just sort of drifts away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could keep diving into that. I could just keep going, you know. You guys don't want to hear me ramble about that, probably.
I mean, if you guys do want to hear that, please send us an email at chossyconvos@gmail.com.
Or comment on the video, too.
Yeah. That'll help us build, like, maybe we'll just do a Rhett's philosophy video series.
We can. You know, the Enormocast, they do this funny thing that's called Taps, and they've done like 3 episodes, and it's literally where like Chris Kalous and his like 2 best friends get together and they drink whiskey and they break down like several topics and just like get super heady into them. Yeah. And just like laugh about it. So like if you guys want to hear Rhett Philosophy Hour or whatever.
And then watch me get mortified.
Yeah. It's just starts trembling. Oh God.
No, I'm not that fragile.
No, I know you're not fragile at all. But no, I get pretty heady. And it's funny too because someone asked me recently, just like, do you always think about stuff like this? I'm like, yeah, literally. Like I wake up and I'm just like, what about death today? Let's think about that one. That seems like it's going to take up my mental energy. And then, you know, I'll accidentally just unload all of my, you know, fucked up thoughts onto someone. They're like, oh, that was horrible. I don't want to do this again. Yeah, I can't continue with my day now. I hate talking to you, Rhett. You suck.
FYI, he's talking about me.
Yeah.
Every day I say that.
And they're always just like, oh, man, it's Christmas. Why are you bringing that up? I'm sorry. It's literally every day. I can't stop it. It's just constantly just going.
There's no filter.
Yeah, no, none at all. None at all. There was one once, I think, and then, yeah, I don't know, something happened along the way. Maybe I was in a car crash I didn't know about or something. Yeah, I can't remember.
No, I think it's funny. I was in a
coma for 6 months, and I just found the answers to the universe, and they were all just nothing.
I think the funniest no filter Rhett was in the meeting at work the other day.
Oh God!
And it was just you said the wrong thing to the wrong person.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything.
It didn't. But it was one of those that it was kind of like a train wreck that you couldn't look away from. Yeah. Like you just start letting loose and railing, and all I'm doing is like trying to avert my eyes and, you know, make myself disappear because it was. Oh man,
maybe a tad reckless. I don't know. I just, you know, guys, you may not. If you guys know me, you may know this about me. Maybe you don't. But occasionally, I have a bit of a temper with people.
That's saying it lightly.
Yeah, I'm not like a. I'm not a. I don't know the best way to put this.
You're not necessarily an asshole.
No,
But
yeah,
you're kind of a whole ass.
I'm more like a maniac, you know? Like, don't take me too seriously because I'm just like that guy on the subway that's like screaming out the window because it was unfair to him, you know? Like, that's just me,
Yeah.
right? So just don't take me too seriously. Just know that when I blow out the lines, just let me blow out the lines and just know that it's not personal. I'm unleashing, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It just happens.
Yeah, I can't help it, you know?
It was really funny
Yeah.
just to watch that interaction happen. And
Well, I didn't really remember that much of it either. And then when you made a comment to me, I was like, oh, God, I can't believe I said that.
yeah, and no one else in the meeting could believe
Yeah, and
you
everyone
said
just
that.
looked down at their phones like, oh, God, okay, well, it's one of those moments, and we'll just look away, and hopefully it'll end soon. You know,
And it did.
maybe if we pretend like it's not here, it won't see us.
Yeah. Oh man, good times at the Ascent.
Yeah. Oh, it's never a dull moment.
Yeah, if y'all want to have some fun, come climb. Well, in the words of our new campaign, come climb with us.
Yeah, come climb with us.
Not our new campaign, but the gyms.
Yeah, the gyms come climb with us campaign where they just do tons of videos of us and
I
stuff.
think it's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty dope. I'm curious to see how my video turns out. Maybe because I'm a narcissist, but also I just think I probably like fucked it up in some way.
Yeah, I know. I definitely talked about the podcast on there,
Really?
and so I hope Liz is able to keep it in.
I think I hope so. I think Liz she did all the editing for this, and I'm so sorry, Liz, because I think at some point during that I was just like turning around and shit because
Getting
people were walking
paranoid.
behind me, and I'm like a paranoid dude. Like, whoa, who's that behind me?
I'm sure it's going to be a fine video.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she edited out all the best parts.
Oh yeah.
From me, staring intently at her. Yes, I love coaching. No, I don't get mad at the children. Only on occasion when they complain to me, or when they look like they're having seizures when they're doing sit-ups.
Or when they're messing with stuff they shouldn't mess with,
Yeah, or saying things they shouldn't say. Yeah,
or doing things they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, really. It really
Yeah.
is.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have today.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's time we're starting to ramble. I think it's time
Yeah.
for us to call it quits.
Yeah. So, for everyone out there that's listening, follow us on Instagram at Chossy Convos, isn't it?
Chossy Converse 1.
Yeah, it's really weird. Just start typing our name and you'll find us.
Yeah, you'll find us. Yeah.
Find us on YouTube. Find us on Twitter. Follow
See if
us.
we can get that fixed.
Yeah, find us and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We try to put out content regularly as possible. We're going to see you all in Uray, hopefully, and
We'll see you guys next week.
well, yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, one more episode and then it's on the road.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So you Choss Goblins, stay safe out there. I'm Logan McGaha.
I'm Rhett Lundy. Check your knot.